On this episode, I get reconnected with an old friend. I talk about self-esteem, and я говорю по-русски. This is Gary Vaynerchuk, and you're watching the Ask Gary V Show, episode 18. Little fun fact about 18, the Jets had an 18-point lead in Green Bay on Sunday and blew it.
Thomas asks, what forms of media do you consume, and are there any particular people you listen to?
Thomas, how are you? Thank you for the opening question on episode 18. A little bit of better mood for me than 17. I consume a lot of Twitter, predominantly, a little bit of Facebook newsfeed, a little bit of ESPN.com. I actually consume a shockingly low percentage of media. And as it comes to following people, who do I listen to? Again, I really don't pay attention to a whole lot of tastemakers or notable figures. I'm very selfishly stuck in my cocoon, but this is where I'm gonna throw you for a curveball, and I do think it's a differentiator. I spend an obnoxious, heavy amount of time listening to my community. Last night, after lots of meetings, right before bed, instead of consuming stuff as the normal marketplace does, I was reading the comments that a lot of you left for me in yesterday's episode. It is more interesting to me to understand what the people that I'm lucky enough to give me their attention, what they're looking for from me, a little bit about their life. I know that Chef Lizette is moving to New York. I'm consuming my community, which I think is me repaying what you're paying me with, which is your attention. I'm giving you back my attention. And so I haven't anchored myself, maybe out of pride or bravado or ego, to other tastemakers or leaders. I don't do that at all. It keeps me fresh in some way. It continues to allow me to be in my lingo, and I don't really want to be affected. I'm very in my zone. So my consumption is quite low. I read Tech Meme, Jason Hirschhorn's email for like what's in the news, but I'm not consuming much, and I'm not following much, except for you.
Gary, should I still pursue a degree in marketing when you say, even though you say marketers ruin everything?
I'm a marketer.
If not, then what should I pursue in regards to my career? Because I really want to work in marketing, but approach it differently than it's been done in the past several years.
Jan, first and foremost, I like how you were reading some sort of card over here. I'd eliminate that from your game, but I'm not razzing. Marketers do ruin everything, and I'm a proud and happy marketer. So don't take that literally. I think you should pursue marketing. And I love that you're trying to, look, the fact that you even know who I am and are asking a question on the Ask Gary V Show, believe it or not, makes me think you're gonna be successful. And what I would recommend is, the degree's nice and all, but I would highly recommend, if you're still in university, to intern at the places that you most think are innovating. I mean, when I think about the last 2 classes of VaynerMedia interns and the fact how many of them get hired into this organization and how great VaynerMedia is as an organization by comparison to the other people that are marketing as agencies out there, and I really believe that. I think they were very smart, strategic, and made the right move. I would give you the same recommendation. Get into the walls that you most believe in, and you should market in a different way, and 99% of the places right now won't allow you to do that. So find the other 5, 6, 7, 10 places that look like this place, which will create the culture to allow that.
Carlos asks, curious how you feel about the impact you've made on people you've touched and inspired over the years.
Carlos, thank you so much for that question. It's very sweet. You know, a lot of you really know me because you've been following my career for quite a while, and we interact quite a bit, and I think I'm more tangibly touchable than a lot of the other kind of people that look like me, and we engage quite a bit, and I have a lot of context back to question number 1 in comparison to others and all that blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, most of you don't really know me, and I think that, you know, with the hustler and businessman and the North Star of buying the New York Jets, one would say he loves and wants to buy the Jets more than anything, and thus the money associated with that process is very important to him. It is a distant second to know that I've been gifted with a communication style that touches people, that makes them, even though maybe I'm saying the same thing they've heard before, it's either my conviction or it comes from my soul in such a way. I talk about what I believe in so much that it's been able to move people. Crush It was clearly a catalyst because that book really did move people's careers. So many of you have been affected. It blows my mind actually to think about how many people have been affected even in small ways, creating more positivity for some people. There's just so many variables of how I've affected people. And I don't say that in like, look at how cool I am. I'm just so goddamn thankful. You know, it's, you know, so how do I think about it? I think it is my legacy. I think it is the essence of who I am as a human being, and it is the singular thing that I'm most proud of. And it gives me enormous confidence of what kind of parent I'm going to be, and that makes me very, very happy. So, you know, Gary Vaynerchuk guy. You know, my question for you is this. So cool. Do you speak Russian? Да, я говорю по-русски. Мне тяжело, ты знаешь, я приехал в Америку, когда я был 3 года. So, мама и папа хотели быть американские и не говорили по-русски очень много. Но я still знаю, как говорить, и я все понимаю. And for all of you that don't understand that, that was Russian with a very heavy English accent, predicated on the notion that it was important for my parents to become Americanized. And so we didn't live in Brooklyn and Brighton Beach with all the other Russians. We went to New Jersey. We were very proud to become Americans and very much pushed English language in the home.
Mrs. Jones asks, how do you make sure lack of confidence doesn't stop me from chasing my dreams?
Mrs. Jones, this is a very important question to me because I'm actually quite scared to give you the answer, which is we need to seriously think about how to build up your confidence. I am the kind of person that believes that self-esteem is the ultimate drug in society. And I believe that when you have self-esteem, you give yourself the audacity to dream big, aka buy the New York Jets. When you dream big, what ends up happening is the little things stop mattering as much and you're not crippled by them, and you start really kind of becoming, you know, I'm actually maybe the least anxious person I know in a world where anxiety should be on paper the thing that I most have because I have so much going on and I have these enormous aspirations. You know, I really struggle with this question because I would actually tell you to not say, well, don't worry about it, you'll get there, and no rah-rah I can do real quick here is going to affect you. But what I'm hoping to affect you with is, I would highly recommend doing some deep searching into what you can afford and what is practical to work on that, whether that's literally seeing somebody to build it up, mapping your life backwards, surrounding yourself with positive, self-esteem driven people, I think is a very unique way to do it. This is the big one for me, fellas and ladies. I am all in on self-esteem, and I would say if you are self-aware enough to know that you lack it, I would tell you to execute about finding a way to gain more of it.
Gary, loving the show, like loving it. Great to see you back. I hope you remember me from Wine Library episode 759 where we drank out of bottles.
I remember.
But enough of that, my question. I run a video blog in mymug.com. Got the plug in. And get about 5,000 views a week, but we've been kind of there for the last 100 or so episodes. Should I kick on? Should I be bothered about that? We're getting sales from it. We get lots of interaction from it. But should I kick on? And if I am, should I look at dark posts? Should I look at Twitter? What should I kind of do to kind of find that next level? And thank you for the show.
My pleasure, my friend. I definitely remember you, and that was a lot of fun. You know, it's funny, I was just about to segue in closing out the show about I also want more viewers and I want to keep building. Like when you're in the game, you're in the game. You want to build. And you've done the patience thing, which is normally my answer. That's my answer to me. I'm only 18 episodes in, and you got to restart and rebuild an audience and get people used to behavior. And it's not email or RSS like I had with Wine Library back in 06, 7, 8. And so it's different ways. It's Twitter, but that's noisier and different. You know, so I would say distribution. The reason you're stuck right now is you need distribution, distribution, distribution. I highly recommend you say to yourself, what are the 100 websites that are the biggest websites in the world that speak to or are in the genre of my show? And then literally email them one by one and ask them if they want the rights to distribute your content with maybe you writing on top of it. I'd also reach out to the top 100 podcasts that you can get out there on and promote the show, give interviews. You need to hustle. What you just did by getting on this show worked. You were gonna pick up 39, 42, 73 new listeners for your show by being on this show. And you need to just scale the living crap out of that. It's hustle, 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 hustle. But with a thread in distribution. You need more awareness. You need to show up on other YouTube celebrities show. You need to show up, you need to get into the LinkedIn community and start putting out that content. You need to get the hell out there. That is the game, my friend. And that is a nice way to kind of wrap up the show, because that's what I was gonna rant about at the end. Question of the day. Been working on it. A lot of you have answered. I really appreciate your feedback. You did in the last episode. What do you think about the new GaryVaynerchuk.com? Right here, right here. Put some work into it. We're on the back of Rebel Mouse, one of my investments, a platform I really believe in, and I'd love your 3 cents on that. You keep asking questions, I will keep answering them. Layers, baby, layers. And that's it. Episode 18 in the books, guys. Oh, that's not it. We have one more video question. And ironically, I was about to talk about it. So, let's go to it.